Operating now, or starters for the first race at the gate. Gate is moving, all set for race number 1 of the afternoon. A field of 8, Doc Smoke and Joe, Gord Hennessy. Miss Tahoe, Tony Watson. Woodmere Duster, John Davidson. Princetown Judy, Brian Moore. PJ's Wager, Steve Mahar. Maple Cookie, Louis Bellevaux. LD's Gregory, Dirk Duncan, and Grandiose, Gilberto. Here they come. And they're off and pacing and going for the early lead. Up on the inside is Doc Smoke and Joe. Princetown Judy is leaving as well, as is Grandiose, and Miss Tahoe settling in fourth as they hit the turn. Drive to the opening eighth, and from post 8, that's Grandiose quickly grabbing the top now. Grandiose is Doc Smoke and Joe. Second, that leaves Princetown Judy to go on from third. Then Miss Tahoe looks at it from fourth. Racing in fifth is Woodmere Duster. To the outside, PJ's Wager. Then it's Maple Cookie and your trailer, LD's Gregory. That opening quarter for Grandiose in a swift 29-1. She's up front with a 2.5 length lead. Racing in second, Princetown Judy, Doc Smoke and Joe. PJ's Wager outside, now fourth. Miss Tahoe back in fifth as they come off the turn, then back in sixth. That is Woodmere Duster. Maple Cookie comes out to move, and your trailer is LD's Gregory as they approach the half-mile marker, with Grandiose still your leader. Racing second, PJ's Wager. Princetown Judy is third the half. In a minute, 2/5. Miss Tahoe gets off the pylons. She's out and racing on from fourth. Then following her goes Maple Cookie. Doc Smoke and Joe locked into the pylons in sixth, and PJ's Woodmere Duster rather, and trailing the field is LD's Gregory as they race on to the 3/4. Grandiose with a good lead, leads by about 4.5. Princetown Judy second. PJ's Wager third. Maple Cookie now third in the outside. PJ's Wager fourth. 3/4, 1:30 and 3/5. And it is Grandiose. She's on top by about 5. Maple Cookie closing the gap second now. Racing third is Princetown Judy. Miss Tahoe fourth. PJ's Wager fifth. Woodmere Duster. Then it is Doc Smoke and Joe and your trailer, LD's Gregory, as they hit the turn for home in the stretch. And it is Grandiose. Grandiose, Maple Cookie, and Woodmere Duster closing for third. But it's Grandiose, Maple Cookie coming on, but she had enough left. Grandiose wins. Then in for second, Maple Cookie. Woodmere Duster gets the show spot. Then it was Miss Tahoe, Doc Smoke and Joe, LD's Gregory, PJ's Wager, and Princetown Judy. The time for the mile, 2:03. Race 2 with a field of 8, Susie Poozy, Dirk Duncan. Blyce Last, Tim Merzetti. Gambo, Rick Armstrong. Wind at My Back, Gord Hennessy. Daily Odds, Doug Falkins. Hughes Return, John Davidson. Beastmark, Steve Mahar, and from the outside, Mysterious Ways, Brian Moore. 8 starters for race 2. Here they come. They're off and pacing, going for the early lead. Susie Poozy on the inside. Blyce Last is going for it, as is Wind at My Back, and Mysterious Ways is 4 wide as they dip into the first turn. And your leader, Susie Poozy, racing second now. Mysterious Ways on the outside. Blyce Last has third. Then racing in fourth, Wind at My Back, will Gambo. We'll look at it from fifth. Then it's Daily Odds, Hughes Return. Earler trailer is Beastmark to the opening quarter. And still parked, Mysterious Ways as Susie Poozy takes the field of 8 to the opening quarter. In 30-2, racing second, Mysterious Ways, but he's parked. Right there, third on the inside is Blyce Last. Back in fourth, Wind at My Back. Then Gambo sits along the rail fifth. On the outside and moving, here comes Daily Odds. Then it's Hughes Return. And trailing still is Beastmark as they hit the 3/8 and off the turn. Through the stretch, here they come racing to the half-mile marker. Susie Poozy in command. She leads a length and a quarter. Blyce Last now second. Mysterious Ways third. Then going 3 wide goes Daily Odds. She now gets to third, the half, and 2-2. Mysterious Ways between horses. Then locked in to the rail is Wind at My Back. Going wide, Hughes Return, and your trailer Beastmark as they hit the 5/8, and Susie Poozy still on top. Daily Odds on the outside coming to call second. Racing third is Blyce Last on the outside moving. There goes Wind at My Back from fourth. Then Hughes Return gaining ground. He is now fifth. Then on the outside goes Beastmark Gambo. Mysterious Ways, 3/4 in 1:34. Neck and neck for the top. Susie Poozy inside. Daily Odds fighting hard outside. Then racing third is Blyce last. In between horses, Wind at My Back, and that's Beastmark swinging 3 wide. Hugh's Return is right there. Gambo off the turn for home. And on the outside, Daily Odds pacing to the top. Daily Odds, Susie Poozy on the inside. Blyce last right there, third in deep stretch. Daily Odds gets them in the stretch. Then Susie Poozy second. In for third was Blyce last. Then Beastmark, Wind at My Back. Then it was Gambo, Hugh's Return, and Mysterious Ways. And time for the mile, 2:06. Starters for the third at the gate. Gate is moving. All set for the third with Waterside Apache, Charlie Price. JP, John Davidson. Aaron Islands, Lonnie Stokes. HF Williams Pride, Brian Moore. Seawind Calvero, Jim Smith. Adara's Spirit, Joe Barrio, and Scorpy, Dirk Duncan. Here they come. They're off and pacing. JP going for the early lead. Adara's Spirit on the outside going forward as well. And not hold all tickets, please. Hold all tickets as they hit the first turn. Your leader is JP. Adara's Spirit takes the pocket trip, racing in second. Aaron Islands gets away third. HF Williams Pride settling in, looking at it from fourth. Then racing fifth, Seawind Calvero, and Scorpy backs off. To the back of the pack as your leader is JP, and once again Waterside Apache not going. So your leader up front and cutting it out, JP, the quarter, 31 seconds. On the outside and challenging second now. On the outside and driving hard, Aaron Islands, Adara's Spirit. On the pylons, third, HF Williams Pride is fourth. Then it's back to Seawind Calvero and Scorpy as they come off the turn and through the stretch. Here they come, racing to the half, and again, hold all tickets, please, for this one. Hold all tickets as JP is your leader. Aaron Islands outside challenging. Adara's Spirit right there sitting pretty third. The half in a minute, 4/5. Then HF Williams Pride is fourth. Then racing fifth is Seawind Calvero. And your trailer is Scorpy as they race on to the 5/8 pole. And up front, cutting it out, JP. JP is on top. Outside, Aaron Islands finally gets in front. Now racing second, JP. Adara's Spirit sitting pretty from third. Then racing fourth, HF Williams Pride, Seawind Calvero. And Scorpy trails the 3/4. In 1:31 and 1 as Aaron Islands clears to the front, but not for long as on the outside. Adara's Spirit coming to chase. Now second. Racing third is JP. Fourth, HF Williams Pride. Then it's Seawind Calvero, Scorpy off the turn for home. Aaron Islands still on top. Adara's Spirit on the outside, challenging hard second. Inside Aaron Islands, outside Adara's Spirit coming on. Aaron Islands with a late break, and Adara's Spirit goes to the top. Aaron Islands off stride, HF Williams Pride. Then JP, Seawind Calvero, and Scorpy, once again Waterside Apache. Not starting that time of the mile, 2:03. All set for the fourth, settling in with a field of 7. Fidierlas, Gilles Barrio. Lee's Lady Anne, Gord Hennessy. James E.B., Sean Shannon. Allegro Ellie, John Davidson. Good Dear Good, Lonnie Stokes. Jails Mayflower, Steve Mahar, and Shuffle the Decks. Charlie Price, 7 starters here for the fourth. Here they come. They're off and pacing, and from the rail, Fidierlas going for the early lead up on the outside. That is J.L.'s Mayflower challenging. On the inside is Lee's Lady Anne. Getting away fourth, Allegro Ellie. Fifth on the outside, Shuffle the Decks. Then it's Good Dear Good, and James E.B. trails is Fidierlas. Your post-time favorite, taking them up the backstretch for the first time. He's leading a length and a half. Lee's Lady Anne second. Racing third now, Allegro Ellie backing off for a hole. But there isn't one there for him, was JL's Mayflower. Then on the outside moving goes Shuffle the Decks. That opening quarter, 31. Then racing in sixth on the rail, Good Dear Good, and trailing James E.B. as they race towards the 3/8 Fidierlas on top. Lee's Lady Anne is sitting second. Allegro Ellie now third. Outside still. On the outside parked is J.L.'s Mayflower. Then on the inside, Good Dear Good, Shuffle the Decks, and James E.B. trails. Out from third, there goes Allegro Ellie out to challenge as Speedy Airless takes the half-mile mark lead. That time of 1:03. It's Speedy Airless, Allegro Ellie outside, challenging second. Racing third on the rail, Lee's Lady Ann. Then Good Dear Good now gets to fourth. J.L.'s Mayflower fifth. Then James E.B. Shuffle the Decks as they go on up the backstretch, racing to the three-quarters. Speedy Airless on top. Lee's Lady Ann now back to second. Racing third on the outside is Allegro Ellie. Good Dear Good closing the gap fourth. Then James E.B. now on to fifth. Then JL's Mayflower and Shuffle the Decks, three-quarters in 1:34 and 3. Speedy Airless leading. Leads now by 2. Lee's Lady Ann giving chase second. Allegro Ellie now dropping to third. Racing fourth is Good Dear Good, James E.B. JL's Mayflower, Shuffle the Decks. Off the turn for home, and it's all Speedy Airless. Lee's Lady Ann coming on with a late brush. Lee's Lady Ann on the outside, but it is Speedy Airless holding. Speedy Airless wins, then in for second was Lee's Lady Ann, Allegro Ellie third, then Good Dear Good, JL's Mayflower and James E.B. and Shuffle the Decks. Time of the mile, 2:05 and 3. Starters for the fifth at the gate. Gate is moving. All set for race 5 with Corky's Hoss and Man Game, Lonnie Stokes. Dreams Can Come True, Gord Hennessy. Presidential Gold, Steve Mahar. Burton Knight, Brian Moore. Cover Up R.A., Bill Nicholson Sr. Chip in the Pocket, Dirk Duncan, and Armbro Razor. Charlie Price, here they come. They are off and pacing, going for the top Presidential Gold. He'll be challenged, though, by Corky's Hoss and Man Game from the rail position into the turn. Bird Tonight leaving as well. Dreams Can Come True, settling in fourth, and Cover Up R.A. gets away fifth. Then it's Armbro Razor, and your trailer is Chip in the Pocket as they straighten up the backstretch, going for the first time. And your leader on the inside, but they're 3 wide now, as in between horses. Presidential Gold grabs the top on the inside. Corky's Hoss and Man Game taking them. Then on the far outside, Burton Knight, 3 wide. That quarter, 30 seconds flat. Then back in fourth, Dreams Can Come True, racing fifth. Out and moving Armbro Razor, then it Cover Up R.A. sixth on the pylons, and your trailer Chip in the Pocket as they come through the stretch to the opening half. And we have our third leader of the race as Burton Knight clears to the front. Presidential Gold is second on the outside. Armbro Razor keeps going on. Now second. Presidential Gold third. Cover Up R.A. with the cover from fourth. That half in a minute, 4/5, and Corky's Hoss and Man Game out and moving for the back. Goes Chip in the Pocket, in your trailer. Shuffle back as Dreams Can Come True as they hit the 5/8 and go on up the backstretch. Racing on to the three-quarters. Burton Knight still on top. Armbro Razor, he's gone a tough trip. He's still parked driving second. Presidential Gold has third with the cover. Cover Up R.A., she's covered on the outside fourth. Three-quarters, 1:32. Then back in fifth is Corky's Hoss and Man Game. Dreams Can Come True. And your trailer still Chip in the Pocket as the field races to the 7/8. Burton Knight, Armbro Razor second. On the outside, here comes Cover Up R.A. 3 wide and going on. In deep stretch, Burton Knight, Armbro Razor still holding right there, and Cover Up R.A. Presidential Gold on the inside. In deep stretch, though, they're not going to beat Burton Knight. Armbro Razor hangs in tough for second. Then third, Presidential Gold, and it was Cover Up R.A., Dreams Can Come True, Chip in the Pocket, and Corky's Hoss and Man Game. Time for the mile, 2:03 and 3. Starters for the 6th race at the gate. Gate is moving. All set for race 6, a field of 8. Hander Off Bluegrass, Wayne Watson. Country Wedding, Dirk Duncan. Country Cam, Gilles Barrio. Die High, Charlie Ross. Dusty Lane J.D., Tim Merzetti. Bordertown Armor, Todd Trites. Baby Ransom, Lonnie Stokes, and to the outside, Count Legacy with John Davidson, 8 starters. Here they come. They're off and pacing from the inside. Hander Off Bluegrass going for the early lead. Racing on the outside second is Country Wedding third, and Country Wedding off stride, back pacing, and Hander Off Bluegrass off stride as well, but she's back pacing as they hit the 8th pole and go on up the backstretch. Racing to the quarter, and after all the confusion, Country Wedding now your leader. Racing in second, Die High, Ender off Bluegrass is third. Racing fourth, Country Cam, then it's Baby Ransom fifth. Then racing sixth is Border Town Armor. Dusty Lane JD in your trailer, Count Legacy after a quarter of 30-2. Up front, Country Wedding, Die High. Here comes Country Cam. On the outside, challenging second. Then racing on the inside, Ander off Bluegrass is back in fourth. Baby Ransom comes off the rail to challenge from fifth. Then it is Border Town Armor, Dusty Lane JD, and Count Legacy as they come to the opening half, and Country Wedding and Country Cam. They're neck and neck for the top on the outside. That opening half, 102, Ender off Bluegrass is third. Then Die High sits fourth. Racing fifth on the inside, Baby Ransom. Outside to Border Town Armor, then Dusty Lane JD and Count Legacy as they hit the 5/8. On up the backstretch, racing to the 3/4, Country Wedding, Country Cam on the outside, challenging hard second. Ender off Bluegrass is right there third. On the outside, Border Town Armor going on from fourth. Then Die High fifth, Baby Ransom sixth. 3/4, 132. Then it's Dusty Lane JD and Count Legacy as they race towards the 7/8. They're starting to bunch up. Country Wedding is still on top. In between horses, Country Cam. Joining the fray on the outside is Border Town Armor strong on the outside. In deep stretch, Border Town Armor to the front. Country Cam second, Country Wedding third, Ander off Bluegrass coming on again, but it's Border Town Armor mows them down in the stretch. Then in for second was Country Cam, Ander off Bluegrass finishing third. Then Count Legacy and Baby Ransom, Country Wedding. Then Dusty Lane JD and Die High. Time for the mile, 2:03. Starters for the 7th at the gate, approaching top of the stretch. How's She Cuttin', Steve Mahar. Mr. L, Todd Trites. Stony B, Charlie Price. Charlie Burke, Gord Hennessy. This Cam's down, Jill Barrio and outside to Christian Avery. And Dirk Duncan, 6 starters. Featured 7th race. Here they come. They're off and pacing, going for the lead from the inside. How's She Cuttin'? Racing second on the outside is Mr. L, Stony B. Gets away in third, then racing fourth. On the inside is Charlie Burke. Back in fifth, this Cam's down, and Christian Avery trails as they go by the 8th pole. On up the backstretch to the quarter, and Mr. L clears to the front. How's She Cuttin' is racing second now. In third, Stony B, then Charlie Burke. Looking at it from fourth, and this Cam's down is fifth, and Christian Avery is now sixth. They're single file past the opening quarter in 30-2. Up front, Mr. L racing second. How's She Cuttin'? Stony B third, Charlie Burke fourth. This Cam's down is fifth, and trailing sixth is Christian Avery. And we've got some movement now as Charlie Burke comes out of the 4 holes. They come off the turn through the stretch to the half. And Mr. L on top. How's She Cuttin' second. On the outside, Charlie Burke now gets to third. On the inside, Stony B fourth. This Cam's down with the cover, second over, racing on from fifth. Then your trailer, Christian Avery, the half, and 2-2. They race into the turn, and it is Mr. L on top. Racing second on the outside, Charlie Burke. How's She Cuttin' along the pylons third. Outside, this Cam's down from fourth. Then it's Stony B locked in fifth, and trailing is Christian Avery. They're a bunch field going to the 3/4 pole. It's Mr. L on top. On the outside, Charlie Burke hanging tough second. How's She Cuttin'? Waiting to get some racing room. She's third in the rail. Outside, this Cam's down the 3/4, 1:33-1. Then Christian Avery moving fast as a ball from the back of the pack, and trailing now is Stony B as they're still bunched to the 7/8. Mr. L inside. Charlie Burke, he's been parked but still driving hard on the outside. Going to the inside, How's She Cuttin'? And on the far outside, Christian Avery coming on in deep stretch. It's a battle. How's She Cuttin' up the inside, and she wins over Mr. L and Charlie Burke third. In for fourth was Christian Avery. This Cam's down, and Stony B. Time of the mile, 2:03. Starters for the 8th. At the gate, gate is moving, all set for the 8th and final, a field of 8. River King, Charlie Price. Aaron M. Down, Doug Falcons. Shalimar Sentinel, Tony Watson. Monty's Last, Dirk Duncan. Rambo's Reflection, John Davidson. Full Marbell, Gord Hennessy. Brett Hanover, Steve Mahar. Outside, Dusty Davy, Tim Merzetti. 8 starters for the 8th. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Rambo's Reflection. Gunning for the early lead. Up on the inside is Aaron M. Down, Shalimar Sentinel, and Rambo's Reflection. Goes off stride into the first turn. Everybody by okay. As Aaron M. Down comes out your leader now with Shalimar Sentinel racing second. Third away is Monty's Last racing fourth. Is River King back in fifth. That is Full Marabelle. Then racing sixth, Brett Hanover. Back in seventh, Dusty Davy, and back pacing, catching the field, Rambo's Reflection. That opening quarter, 30 seconds for Aaron M. Down. He's your leader. Racing second up tight, Shalimar Sentinel. Third is Monty's Last on the rail. Then racing in fourth. On the inside now, Full Marabelle. Outside, River King. Then back on the outside goes Brett Hanover. Then shuffle back is Dusty Davy in your trailer still. Rambo's Reflection. They're 5 in and 3 out to the opening half as Aaron M. Down on top. But on the outside, Monty's Last driving hard second. That opening half in 102 as Monty's Last gets to the top. Monty's Last clears to the front. Aaron M. Down now second. Shalimar Sentinel still on the pylons third. River King left uncovered now. On the outside fourth. And Full Marabelle fifth. Outside, Brett Hanover goes on from sixth. Then racing back in seventh, Dusty Davy trailing eighth. Rambo's Reflection on to the 3/4 and under a drive. Monty's Last leading by 2. Aaron M. Down. River King prances to the outside. Now third, 3/4 and 32 and 2. Then on the inside, Shalimar Sentinel back in fourth. Full Marabelle to fifth. Then Dusty Davy up the inside, Rambo's Reflection, and trailing now Brett Hanover as they hit the turn for home. And it is Monty's Last on top. Aaron M. Down back with a charge from second. On the outside, River King charging hard third. In deep stretch. 3 wide, but Monty's Last on the inside holding. Monty's Last holds to win, then Aaron M. Down second, River King third, then Full Marabelle fourth, Dusty Davy, then Rambo's Reflection, Brett Hanover, and Shalimar Sentinel. And the time for the mile, 2:04 and 3.